summer travel plans and you like spending time outside, our travel enthusiast Dana Redman is here to explain why you may want to consider Sydney, Australia. All right, good morning, Dana.
Good morning. You know, we're so lucky in the Bay Area. I'm spoiled, really, when you think about it. We have multiple airports, countless flights to get us all over the world. Recently, Qantas resumed after a 3+ year pandemic pause flying from SFO to Sydney. There's a lot of great reasons to go to Sydney. It's the dead of winter right now. So what does that mean? Temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Sounds a lot like summer.
That is true.
In certain parts of the Bay Area. There's a great exchange rate, less crowds, a lot going on. It might be the perfect time to visit. It's also the only time of year you can see vivid Sydney.
Beautiful.
Famous landmarks, the city lights up all throughout the city. The annual festival starts about the end of May, runs through mid-June, the brunt of it, but some light installations like this Lightscape at the Royal Botanical Garden are still going on. This is one of those once-a-year events, but one of those once-a-year events that's worth the flight to kind of go see and take it all in. Now, if you are a beach person, Sydney has a famous beach you might have heard of.
Gorgeous.
Bondi is a huge attraction for locals and for visitors, truthfully. You could easily spend all day here, but a better idea, start here and work your way up the coast. There is a coastal trail that you can just kind of meander the way through. Now, depending on the weather, you might want to have your swimsuit on underneath of your clothes. There will be quiet coves. There will be surfers to watch, stretches of sand to wander on. The trail goes for about 4 miles, give or take, but you can hop off at any time you want. If you get tired, if you've had enough, you want to sit down at a cafe, have something to eat. This is a well-loved and used spot. It's not a tourist attraction per se. You'll see families with kids, people walking their dogs, and visitors in the know is the best way to put it.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting because you mentioned because Bondi is so loved and known by the locals. How is it not more popular with the tourists?
Well, the beach itself is popular, but what happens is you wind up at the beach and you tend not to explore for many reasons because it's so beautiful in front of you. But if you take those few extra steps, there's a lot waiting for you. If you are trying to stay active, I've got another way to get in your steps in. Let's head to the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Now, when I say getting those steps in, I mean kind of climbing and walking on top of the bridge. 1,332 steps in total.
Did you count?
Yeah, I didn't count. I'm trusting them. Now, all of the climbers, as you can see, they wear special jumpsuits, so they kind of blend in with the bridge. That's not to distract the drivers below.
Yeah.
A harness with a cable clips you onto the bridge. Think something like a zip lining setup. From the moment you step out on the span to the moment you are back on solid ground. Now, understandably, this isn't an activity that everybody is going to love, but if you are the type that likes to do adventurous activities, say like ziplining, this is going to be right up your alley. For the more mellow experience, let's go kayaking. Sydney does these amazing sunrise kayaking tours in the harbor. First-time paddlers are welcome. Guided tours are provided by Kayak by Sydney. Yes, you do have to roll out of bed early. My tour started at 6:15, but you forget about it. Trust me, you really do. The guides even provide coffee. The kayaks have cup holders, which is something I've never seen.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can sip and happily caffeinate as you take in all of the sights. It's really a great way to see the city at a different speed and learn a little bit of history, truthfully, from the guides.
And the views are probably gorgeous.
And the views are absolutely fantastic. And lastly, if kangaroos are on your must-see list, you're going to Australia, I get it.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, you won't see them in Sydney. However, this is Hunter Valley wine region, just a couple hours outside of Sydney. Just like people, kangaroos like hanging out in vineyards.
That's fascinating.
Fascinating, and they don't really mind people. So in between watching the kangaroos, sipping wine, hot air ballooning is another great way to take in the sights. Plenty to see. This kind of cements for me similarities to the Bay Area. You've got the city, you've got wine country, just an easy drive away with just some stunning sights to make you smile and give you a little Sunday travel inspiration.
Absolutely, and watching that, I just feel so decompressed and relaxed.
It's one of those type of destinations, and I do think Bay Area folks, they'll find things that make them go, oh, this is kind of like home, and that's
Oh,
nice.
that's very sweet. And were those kangaroos? Those are wild kangaroos.
Wild kangaroos, they are not pets. They just go running through the vineyards. That's the way it is. I guess very similar to how we have deer in the Bay Area.
Yeah, right.
The folks that are there, they're like, another kangaroo.
Oh, for us, it's like, oh, that's so
like,
cool.
wow. But they're like, there goes another kangaroo.
Did you happen to catch any koalas too while you were?
Didn't catch any koalas on this trip, no, but we can talk about that. That is
Okay.
possible. You just need to do that. There are different parts to see for that.
All right,
for
well,
success there.
Wonderful. We'll stay tuned for that.
Absolutely.
All right, Dana Redman, our travel expert, thank you so much for joining us. All right, we'll be right back.
Information doesn't work out so well, but it is what it is. Didn't know what we had. New information.